Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so we collect a lot of different email addresses on every single permit. For example, if you apply for a permit, you're going to put in who the builder is, contact information, all that. If you don't have that email address on the permit, it will not be in your account. So just keep that in mind as you're creating this account, because coming from St. George, a lot of you like ENTS, Split Rock, you maybe used info at Split Rock when you were applying with St. George before, and now you want to use sales at Split Rock. If you put in, when you go to register for an account, if you put in sales at Split Rock and sales is not on that permit that was existing, it won't link the permit into that account. So just keep that in mind when you're doing this. However, if your new email is sales and not info, we will change that on our database. So just so you guys know, like, it's not set in stone, we will want to fix it to the current one that you're actually receiving all your emails. But for St. George, you're going to come in and you're going to create an account. It's going to take you to a login page just like this, where you're going to register your email. Because we're doing the region, a lot of you build in lots of, like, all of this area. On Washington County, you're going to click this Request Online button, and it's going to give you the Create Account page. Same thing with Santa Clara City. If you're building in Santa Clara, you're going to do the Apply, and it's going to give you a Create Account page. The reason we do that is because some of you are building in all three, and some of you are building in only one. You don't need to have every single thing clogging up your login. But once you do that and you register and you log in, let me log out of this, you can log into any one of them, St. George, Santa Clara, Washington County, any one of them that you've registered in, you will get to any one of their login page and be able to log in. So you can just log in. This is the account I registered. Well, this is my demo account. I'm showing you on the demo just to show you how it works, because I don't like to mess with anybody's real data. And again, if you guys have questions, please feel free to raise your hand, space bar, and talk to me so that I know to stop the training and answer these questions, because if you have them, someone else probably has them too. If we were in a real life meeting, I would be pointing at you, like asking you if your hand raised what your question is. So I'm going to go into building. If you've registered for more than one city, they're going to be listed underneath your name here. So then
Brady, Brett Boyce has a question.
Okay.
Okay. Brett, do you want to ask it?
Yeah, so I think this is something that maybe a few people have. On the email, you were talking about the email. Can you hear me okay?
Yep, I can hear you.
Is if, I imagine with ENTS, they've got a number of jobs with different superintendents running each job. And so if the email just goes to one person, that superintendent might not know if he's passed inspection. Do you have to, like, how do you separate? Like, I want to see all the jobs for my company, but I want my superintendent to be able to see the inspections. Is there multiple? Yep. I mean, how does that work? My very next move in this training is this button right here, and it will show you that if your permit is already existing in the city people will have to update that application. If it's a brand new application, you guys get to decide. So reason being, you can't just go into the city, walk behind their counter, pull up the file and white out things and add things. That application has already been in, it's been processed long ago. We don't let you go change the application, but any new applications will come in, and then you have complete control, which I'm going to show you in just 2 seconds. Is that okay, Brett? The name of the email on the application for that specific permit that you want to be notified.
Correct. Yes. Yeah. So once you log in, so you just went to St. George City, you created an account. Once you do this, it will email you a temporary password, which the majority of you guys in this meeting already have, but just in case there's some new ones, I wanted to go over that. It'll email you a temp password. Once you get the temp password, you're going to log in. Once you log in, you will have access into your builder account here. So if you were brand new applying for a permit, you would click apply for new permit. If you're building a multiplex, something that is the same plan over and over and over and over again, you can do the copy permit details, and it will take any one of your existing permits and copy most of the details so you're not starting from scratch. And I'm gonna just keep watching this chat, and Mari, let me know if you come across anything that I missed. For the most of us, we're starting a new application. And Brett, this is gonna answer your question. When you pick that you are doing a new home here, this builder is going to be you. You do not want to receive every single email, but you are the builder. You want to have this permit linked to your account. So if I type in my name, I'm the builder, this would be in your case Split Rock, you would type that in and it's going to pull up your builder account. The contact person is receiving the inspection emails, but more than likely, and what we've found with doing this business is like the builder, the main company owner, does not want to receive 60 emails a day. Just as John was saying earlier, they schedule 120 inspections a day. And if half of those are ints, that's a ton of emails a day. But putting this email right here puts this permit now in that account. So if I registered BradyAnn4@gmail.com, it's going to be linked to my account no matter what. Also, the contact person, that's your superintendent. That's the one that does want to receive every single inspection email. That's this one, BradyAnn@CityInspect. It's also in my account. This is where you can be the builder up here, and maybe you have 50 permits, and then you have a superintendent that manages 10, and this person manages 10, and this person manages 10. That's their email right here. Is that making sense so far for everybody? I'm trying to look at everybody's screen and make sure that I have head nods because it's hard when everybody's in the same, like we're in this thing.
Brady, basically, you have to decide up front what inspector you want with that new application.
Not inspector, but just who.
I don't mean inspector, but superintendent.
Yes, but you can also add multiple. So, and the city can later too. So let's say I was the main person on here. I'm going to hit this plus and I'm going to add another. And this person, like it'll pull from my contact list already. But if I put Brady 2 at, and then I put that in there, it now puts this permit in Brady 2's account. Does that make sense? You can add as many as you want. And you can have this person not receive inspection emails, but you wanted to put this permit in their account. This is great for your secretaries at your desk. This is great for anybody that's actually doing the applications for you in your office because they're doing your processing of your applications and submitting them to the city. But maybe it's your superintendent that wants to receive all the inspection emails. That's where you would put inspection emails no. If I'm just your secretary here, I don't need to receive those inspection emails. But you can hit this plus as many times as you want and put as many people as you want on this application. And it will put so that they can still log into their own individual emails. I can log into Brady at City Inspect, this permit will be there. I can log into BradyAnn4, this permit will be there. Brady 2, there. All of these would be there. But your criteria of what they're there for is at your discretion. Does that make sense?
Yeah, and Brady, Keisha had a good suggestion. She said we made an email only for our inspection so everyone has access to it.
Let me read that. Which is fine. If you put in like an email, if it's info, that just means everybody has to log into info. But if you don't want to receive 20 inspection reports a day and all you're doing is the applications and superintendent that's managing inspections, that's why we gave you these other fields here. So you can say like, let them view, but don't send me every inspection report. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, and then we have another comment. It says, if I dropped off an application today, this morning, will I need to reapply using my city inspection?
Where did they drop off their application? Because everything's going through this system. Who asked that question? I can't see it on my chat.
It's V. Steinfeld, Watts Construction. So, and any of these we can address too. We can email them
Okay.
after or call them.
Well, so if you've already submitted your application, then the city can go in and change this page. Any city can go in and do this, or they're going to send it back to you and ask you for corrections, which I'm going to show you here in just a second. But the number one question since we've had this integration was, why is this permit not in my account? The reason the permit isn't in the account that you registered is because the email address that you registered isn't existing somewhere here. And we'll go over that one that we're having issues with and make sure, but the email would need to be existing somewhere here on this permit for it to be existing in this account. So let me just remove these really quick because they aren't relevant to this one. I'm going to put in just a test address. So you're going to fill in this information just as you would if you picked up a application from the city and you were writing this on paper. You're going to fill in the address, subdivision, all of the fields that the city is requiring. If you started this application and you need to finish it later, you're going to hit save and close. That's just going to say, I'm not going to finish this right now. It would be like you picked up a packet from the city office and walked home with it and you're working on it. Save and close puts it back in your list to work on later. So if I click my permits menu here, I can see in my demo account, I have 2 that I'm preparing. They have not been submitted. They're ones I'm working on in my own pace. It's your secretary started it and somebody called her and she had to switch over her phone call. That's your preparing section. So if I jump back into this application, I will view the application and continue. So it jumped me right to the attachments because that's usually where people get stuck and we like to streamline. But I'm going to go back to this edit permit, which is the very first page. So I could actually fill in more information here. Click continue. This is where you're going to fill in who the builder is, the electrical contractor. So I would just start typing. I should be able to pick them from the list and it will automatically fill in this information to go through the electrical. Now, because I just put in Brady Elect, that if I register Brady Elect with St. George City, this permit will be in my account. It doesn't have to be Brady on 4. We've had some plumbing contractors contact us saying, or contact the city saying, this isn't our job, but because somebody put them on their permit, we were able to catch it because it put the permit in their account. They're all connected by the email address. So we're good so far, no questions? Keep looking to see if I have hands raised. Okay, so then I continue. Then you're going to put in your valuation. So whatever the valuation of your job is, just like you do on your regular permit application that you would write, fill in your square footages, whatever they are, and then carry on. You will fill in all this information. Then you get to the attachments page. So this is going to be customized per city. We're trying to really streamline and make them like somewhat standard, but every city has certain things that they look at that are slightly different. Like the county has certain things because they don't have as many regulations as the city. So when you apply for a new home, you're going to see new home items here. If you apply for a fence, you're going to see fence items here. This list will change according to what type of permit you applied for. A couple notes on this that we've had questions on. If you see this blue star, you have to attach a document here. So no matter what, this won't let me proceed without hooking a document. So I must attach something or it won't let me submit. If you see this info box, that's because the city has given you some information about this item that you might want to see or you don't know. In the example of St. George City, they have given you on the paperclip the water district form, so that if you come in here and it's asking you to give the water district form, you can click the attachment and get the form. So anytime you see this I or this paperclip, that means they're giving you information about it, and you can also collect a document for it. So St. George City, I know they've attached some documents here that you will see when you apply for a new home. You can click the paperclip and get it. So if you see a star, something must be attached. So it won't let you submit. You can see if you come down here to the submit, it's not going to let you. Even if you try to click these through and say, okay, just bypass all of these things, it's not going to let you submit without you attaching a document to everything with a star. So on St. George, on the county, anywhere you build, like on my demo account, I have Heber, Kaysville, like I can jump to any one of these cities. Their regulations are going to be the same, but if it has a star, you must attach something. So I'm just going to quickly jump through this. I see a question.
Can you see the question?
I think so, yeah. So this was for Scott. If you've submitted it.
You may want to ask the question and then answer it.
Yeah, there's several on here, but I might want some clarification. Can we unmute Scott?
Yeah. Where is he?
So are you talking that you've already submitted it into the city and it's no longer a valid permit?
Is that Scott? I think I unmuted Scott.
Okay. Well,
Mari, this is Marlena.
He doesn't have a microphone.
He doesn't have a microphone.
Okay.
Oh.
Okay. Scott, I'm going to come back to your question. Like, we're going to have a Q&A at the end of this, and we'll make sure we cover all these questions. Because I might, yeah, so the city will need to cancel that. If it's already gone in, they're going to just cancel that out without you doing it because it's already in their court. This is your court, that's their court. Just as if you had dropped off the packet, you would have to call Brenda and say, hey, we're not doing this permit anymore, just get rid of it. They'll just mark the permit as canceled and it'll be gone. There's also, once it's out of, once you've submitted it, there's
Hey, Brady.
Yes.
Is Hurricane City going to be using this as well?
I don't know. I would like Hurricane City to use it. We're trying to.
I know you would.
I have a city council meeting tonight with Tokerville, but I'm not sure. Not yet though. They're not yet using it. But the more that we can get, I have like all of Iron County, so all the cities and Iron County using it. It just makes it really familiar and comfortable for all the builders that are building in that area. And I only focus on Utah, so, but not yet, but maybe. We'll see. We'll see.
Have you hit up Apple Valley yet?
Apple Valley uses it.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah, they use it. Yeah, Apple
Interesting.
Valley's there.
Ben didn't tell me that.
Yeah, they might need to put the link on their website, and they're new and they're small. So, but yeah, they have our system.
Good. So that means Lance, the inspector, is going to be sending us emails when he inspects things again, right?
Absolutely. Yes.
Perfect.
Yep.
Good.
Yep. They'll be automatic.
Good.
Okay. I know, the more the merrier. We're in the more the merrier. just because it's familiar and it's comfortable and it's easy. So let me really quick attach the rest of these documents, unless you guys, do you have more questions on this form? people have been stuck on this, but it's mainly because they did not attach. The city workers can go in and tell you what you're missing, but if there's a star and you have not attached something, it won't let you submit your application.
Brady, I have a question.
Okay.
I'm hoping John is still with us. We 15 years ago started a master program with most of our homes. And so there's been more than 10 years that I haven't had any of the documents that this page is calling for. I haven't had the trust packs. I haven't had the trust specs, all those things, because they were all put into a master package, put on a CD, given to the city. And from that point on, when we wanted to build that house, we put that master number, and that matched everything they already had. So now we're just in a mess. I don't even know where to go to get some of this stuff. So as we're finishing out some of our last few lots with houses that we built for 23 years, and John, when we met in person a month ago, said that he was going to help us, at least us and Ensign, a few of the other builders that rely pretty heavy on the master builder program. He was going to help us get that put in. But right now, if I don't fill out every one of those that you showed with the asterisk, I don't get to submit the permit, and I don't have hardly any of that.
There's a couple ways you can do that. And this is where we're going to work with the city, and they're going to work with you, in my opinion. In the past, like if it was all one giant packet that got dropped off to the city, they're going to like separate those pages and they're going to evaluate these things. But some of those pages possibly went to a different department. Some of those pages went over here. I understand like it was all in one packet. So there's several things we can do. One, for now in this meantime of things, we'll make the other ones not required as long as it's submitted in the original packet. So you have to understand, like the city side too, they get people who just check all of those boxes and never give them information just to get an application in, and it's incomplete because they don't have it in all of that. So there has to be that happy medium.
What I was hoping for is that under those ones that I'm missing, I can put the master plan number, which directly connects to a CD in the city that answers every one of those questions. We're basically down to 5 lots left of the original Sun River. Then this is a moot point, and that's why it's hard for me to go all the way back to all the engineering, all the trust information, all the trust calcs for these 5 lots. So that's kind of our dilemma.
Yeah, and I understand that frustration too, because at the same time, they have been submitted a long time ago, and these are just repeat plans. But before, when the inspectors, so again, it's going to be that where you need to find the happy medium with St. George City, with all of the cities around here, because before they were also requiring you to have plans on site. And now, because you went and dug those out of the archives on off the CD and put them in, the inspectors have them on their phones. So your soggy plans that are on the ground that may have been wet from the storm aren't there anymore because we started putting them into the system. And the very next time you go to apply, and I get there's only 5 lots, I totally understand your frustration. So, but the very next time you go to apply with that same set of plans, you're going to use your copy permit, like in that same situation here. So if I do apply, copy, and take one that you've already done and update it to the correct details, the address, the lot, the subdivision. But then the inspectors now have those plans on their phones, on their devices, especially with coronavirus going on. They have them at home even to do the plan reviews instead of in a file on a CD. So
that makes sense. I appreciate your time. Thank you.
Yeah, no, we're just like, it's a happy medium here. I don't have an answer for you. I think that the city though would be more than happy to work with you on some of those things.
Brady,
but that's the transition.
Brady, do you see like an S on your screen, like someone hand wrote something on the screen? Do you see that? I
do see an S, and I don't know how it got there.
I don't either. I was just trying to figure out how to get rid of it. So, okay. You can keep going though, because there's probably a lot of people on here. Oh, there you go. Thank you.
Okay.
There's
There was
probably a lot of
for
contractors
some
that still
reason.
really don't know how to use the system, so.
Okay. Okay.
Good to continue.
Is it there? I mean, it's gone now, right?
It's gone. Thank
Okay.
you.
Okay, good. Okay. Let's see if I go back. Now I have my control thingies up here. Hold on, let me close them out. Okay, so if I carrying on this application, I'm going to come in. So again, I didn't save any of those. I should have. When you guys submit these, all you're going to do is fill these out. Again, if it has a star, the city has said, please give us a file. Again, that's one of our #1 frustrations, is because they checked a box saying, okay, I don't have it, or I submitted it in another set of drawings, and then they went through and it still wouldn't let them submit. So make sure that everything is checked there.
Brandy, I have a question.
Okay.
So if I click on the paperclip and it supposedly brings up a form, can I fill out that form right then, or is this something I have to download and print?
You're going to download it. We're working towards having a form that you can fill out and have it just automatically submit back. But because we're reviewing PDFs right now, it is something you're going to download, fill out, like the Conservancy District form. They made it fillable so you can fill it out, and then you're just going to reattach it back here. I couldn't hear you. I couldn't hear him.
So we fill it out, scan it, and attach it, reattach it.
They should be fillable on the computer. So like Adobe Acrobat is free. They're fillable on the computer. So you would click the paperclip, and I recommend you guys use Chrome or Firefox, anything basically but Internet Explorer. Then you're going to download the form, and I can show you on St. George. Let me jump back over here. Oh, every time I hover up there, it pulls my controls. Hold on. So on St. George, and I'm not sure which fields they require, so let me just jump through this quick to... Brenda, if you're watching, this is going to be a pretend permit, okay? Oh, I forgot my phone number. Okay, so on St. George, you're going to get to, so all of these they're saying are required, but when you get to the Conservancy District form, you can click this paperclip. It will load the form for you. Let me move this back up again. Download this. You can fill it out too, but download this form to your computer. So I'll just throw it on my desktop, and then fill it out and then reattach it back here. Does that answer your question?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
So how does it reattach?
So if I filled it out, I'm just going to click. Oh, let me grab the form. So if I download it, so if I go here, let's say I download this form. And again, you can use any, so I'm going to say Washington Underwater Conservancy District. You can use Acrobat. These are fillable fields. So you can put your name here, all of that information, save the form back to your desktop. And then when you come in here, oh, I keep getting the control screen. I wonder if I can move that. Hold on. Okay. So then when you come here, you're going to reattach it by clicking here, and I will navigate to my desktop where I just saved that form and reattach it. Okay. And that submits it back to them.
Thanks.
You're welcome. Okay.
And Brady, you can keep going. There are some questions in the chat, but I just figured at the end we can answer those.
Yeah, like I'll go through most of it because a lot of these questions I probably will answer, just maybe in a later point of time, so we can go back over and make sure that we didn't miss anything. Okay, so I'm going to jump back over so I'm not submitting a permit to Brenda and the city. So once you submit it, it goes into this submitted section. This is essentially the same as if you walked into their office and said, "Hi, St. George City staff. I have an application for me to turn into you," and they say, "Okay, let me kind of flip through this," because as you know, like cities are on a 14-day. We have 14 days to turn around a plan review. If you're missing information, if you don't have plans and you don't have res checks and you didn't fill out half your application, they're not going to take it. That's this submitted. So really there's not a lot you builders do in this submitted section. That's where they're taking those plans in and doing a quick overview. And just to explain that a little bit further, when you're in the digital world and we take those things, if I jump back into this application and I come here and I say upload permit plans, well, this document that I'm about to attach, let me just scroll down here, is a test PDF. It satisfies the requirements, but this is not plans. And there's no way for a software company like myself or the city to know that you actually did turn in plans. So if they take those, their 14 days start right away and it's not even a correct file. So when a city, that's this submitted, they are going to have to check that application for accuracy and make sure that it is plans. It's not a picture of a dog that we attach just to bypass the checklist. It comes into submitted. Once it goes out of submitted, that's a quick turnaround. It should be a quick turnaround where they say, okay, yeah, it looks complete enough to put into plan review. It goes into plan review, and that's this section. So in your plan review section, anytime it moves from one to the next, it's not going to have like any coloring on it unless there's been an update to it. So this is my demo because I'm not going to use anybody's live information on here, but I can see as a builder that I've had 1, 2, 3 updates to plans in my plan review. If I click on one, I can go into the plan review and I can see what's going on with this plan. So this was a new home. And again, this is my demo, so this isn't going to be accurate to like St. George, Santa Clara, or the county, but it will give you an idea how it works. It goes to building, Jason, planning, and stormwater for review. I can click any of these buttons and see what's going on in those individual departments. Is everybody, we're still good? I see people, I just want to make sure that we're all still good. Okay. So in building, which I'm going to jump into a different one because this one in my demo I put under review. Let me jump into this one. Okay, so plan review. Okay, so third-party plan reviewer, building, engineering, Jason, Power. I can see Jason has signed off. Power has signed off. My third-party plan review company, whoever that was on this particular permit, has corrections for me. Building still has things that they're doing, and same with engineering. If you need to respond back, so like this one, they put a correction on permit plans. I'm going to click needs corrections and see what the corrections were. So I can see planning rejected, building did this, power approved. Here's all of my attachment history for this application. For this checklist item, I'm looking at permit plans. This is where you would say something back like, sorry, here is the new set of plans. You were rejected on it, and you will attach a new file if you need to. If you don't need to attach a file, you can just save and close this screen out. If you need to give them something different, you will hit attach and save. That updates this status back to the plan reviewer at the city. Okay, I'm just making sure, I'm like checking the chat to make sure I'm not missing questions. So for you, the builder, all of your things that you were meant to be like required to do on this application would be done. I can come back to my permits menu. I can come back down. I can see another one has had updates to it. That's this yellow. I can click on it and I can go into plan review and see what I need to adjust. Building, Jason, planning, building is the only one. But you don't have to call in the city and ask them what's going on with permit plans because you can see nothing, they're still pending. If you do have a new file to give them though, you can still attach a file here. So if for some reason it passed through and they let it go through because they were being lenient in this stage right now and said, hey, just send us the file later, still click the pending and attach them the file that you need to give them through this upload new attachment. Just make sure you click attach file. I'm going to jump over to building, needs corrections. I'm going to click on that and see what those were. There's additional comments here. This is gibberish again because it's my demo, but they would have left you a list of things you need to fix. Okay, you can leave a comment back. You can attach a new file if you need, or hit save. When you have updated your stuff, it goes immediately real time to the city so that they can put it back in their queue to redo their plan review. Do you guys have questions on plan review? Anybody? So far, so good? Okay. Just checking. So when you come in here, now you're going to come down. If it moves out of plan review, once everything is out of plan review, it's going to move to pending payment. Pending payment means come pay for it. Like you just got an email notification that the city has approved all of those items in your plan review and it's now ready for payment. So the nice thing for you guys is you can click on these and you can click the printable permit and you can see the amount that you need to pay. This again is my demo. Yours will have the actual St. George city fees or Santa Clara city fees, but it says draft across it. There's no permit number at the top because it hasn't been issued, but you know how much you need to go get your draw check for. You know how much your permit is worth. Those are all of those in, again, under permits in your pending payment. So I have 2 in my demo building account that I need to pay for. And so I know what to go pay the city or call and do payment over the phone right now because coronavirus. Then the next section down is all of your active permits.
So you can't pay online, Brady? You have to call in?
Yeah, they don't have online payment just yet. We're working on getting online payment, but we wanted to get this up and running first. So
do they have a goal date when to accept online payments?
That one I'm not sure about.
You can also drop a check off at the front door of the city building in the in container. They check it every couple hours. Brenda will open that up, get the check, put it in the system, and mark you off as paid.
Okay. And Brenda said they're working on it currently.
Yeah. We want to do online payments. I have like so many cities. The issue that cities have had, I have 45 cities across Utah, and like only 2 take payments online right now, only because they're $20,000 permits for new homes or $15,000 permits. So it's like new to be able to accept those amounts of payments online. But as we get going on this, we will definitely have a payment link. So on that case, in pending payment, you can digitally sign it right now, and there will be a pay here button. So we only just have a couple of it because it has to be API integrated to St. George City's payment system, Santa Clara's payment system, the county's payment system. So we're working towards that one, hopefully soon. As of right now though, you're just dropping off your payments to the city and then they'll mark them as paid. So once they do that, moves from pending payment down to an active permit. These are the ones that are having inspections done. These are the ones that you are scheduling, requesting, all of that. So if I click on any one of these, I can click on one and request an inspection. So the nice thing about this, guys, and I wanted to tell you this with like just sharing the building side of it, you see exactly what the city sees. This same summary page is the exact same summary page that the city worker sees. Like Brenda sees the same page, that we all see the same page. You just have a little bit different buttons because theirs is a schedule inspection and yours is a request. That's because you're a builder requesting an inspection. But if you need your plans, your engineering, your plan review reports, a copy of your application, any document that went through your plan review, it's in your portal just the same as it's in theirs, as well as all of your inspections that you request and do. To request an inspection, it's really simple. You just click this request inspection button and it will show you your history when you go to request. So I'm going to ask for, this is not, this is when I shall get my inspection, which St. George is awesome. Like they will schedule your inspection next day no matter what. And I have tons and tons of cities that are like, well, the schedule was full, you got moved 2 days out. But this when to inspect though is not necessarily when you are going to get it. This is when you would like it. So if you're not ready for a framing inspection tomorrow, don't ask for it tomorrow. Ask for it on Monday. It's the same kind of thing as leaving a message on the voicemail saying, can I get an inspection on Monday? That's what you're putting in here. Your AM, PM, you're just gonna click that to change. If I want it on Monday PM, I just click Monday PM. Then I can click whatever inspection I want. So let's say I need a shear and I hit request. That request immediately went in to put into their queue to schedule. When they schedule it, if you request through the portal, when they schedule it, you should get an email letting you know that that inspection has been scheduled. I don't know, and I'll have to double check with Brenda if the new batch schedule that we built, I think we turned the emails off for that just because of the way they were being scheduled. Joel was scheduling them per subdivision and then kind of moving them around. You would have gotten multiple emails. So if you're not receiving an email and you would like to, let me know, possibly at the end, and we'll make sure that you're getting those requests. But the best part is, like, I don't know about you guys, but I get a lot of emails a day, and if they're from the same person, they tend to like pile up, and I need to sort through them and see all of our emails are going to come from us. The best thing for you guys to know when your inspections are scheduled is to click your schedules link. So if you click schedules, it will tell you when you have your inspections. So, and I could log in to any one of the builder accounts here that have multiple inspections scheduled for all of their jobs. You would be able to see, I have 4 today for permit, this one, this one, this one, this one. I have 7 tomorrow for this one, this one, this one, this one. You can see your stormwater inspections for St. George, just to give you an idea of this. And again, this is per, like Brenda, I'm just gonna log in as you so they can kind of see what they would see on their schedule. There's lots of different departments that have inspections. You can click those same buttons and see what stormwater inspections you have, what pool, what building, for your jobs only. You will only see your jobs. So I know which ones I have, which ones are upcoming, which ones are scheduled, and I can click on those. So if you ever had a question of when your inspections are scheduled, you can click this schedules link and it will tell you all of your inspections that are scheduled and who's doing them. So that's a good resource for you. The other thing too is if you're not ready, if you requested an inspection for next Friday and then you happen to glance down here and realize you're not going to be ready for that inspection, you can cancel it. So you can click on the permit, and then if you come in to this is now we call this the summary page because it's basically the summary of everything that goes on this permit, your plans, your everything. If I wasn't ready for this inspection, I can come to the inspection details link and I can delete it. So this way you're not sending an inspector out to do an inspection for footings when your mud's not going to make it. You can cancel that inspection. They get notified and let them know, but it's better than sending them out when you're not ready for it. So you can go to your schedules, you can see what inspections you have, and you can cancel them through this inspection details page. Is there more questions that I'm missing? Oh, okay. Okay, so then inspection details, again, I can delete this one because I'm not going to be ready for my footings. Do you guys have questions? I know I've been talking this entire time and it's been silent, but we're good? Thumbs up? So far, so good? Okay, awesome. And then, so back to my permits, last thing on the list. So scheduling inspections, pretty simple. You do want to make sure that you can come in here and see like your entire history. If you ever come in here and you see like, oh, was a mechanical, where's all the rest of them? Let me grab one that has some history in my demo. Like here. Well,
Someone did ask Brady, can all this be done through a mobile phone?
Yes, any device. Any device. So if you, as long as you can access the internet, you can do this through a phone. I have cities that inspect on their phones, surfaces, laptops. People apply on the couch watching movies with their phones. So yeah, any device as long as it has a browser. I just wanted to find an older permit to show you some history, but apparently all of my demo ones, let me reactivate one. Okay, so like this one. I don't know how many times I've been out for this mechanical. So if I want to see, like, let's say a homeowner called you and said, hey, what happened on the mechanical prior to this one? This page is showing you the most recent inspection. Reason being is we want you to be able to, at a glance, quickly like move your eyes over here and say that we never passed the gas inspection, it's still showing failed because it's the most recent. So if you needed to see all of them, you can click this show all, and that will show all of the inspections. So you see there's a mechanical that was done on 2/19, mechanical done there, shower pen. You can also see it in a list form by clicking inspection details, which is where we just were to delete. And that will give you the entire history of this. So you can see all of those inspections. So you can click the PDF to view it, see what had happened on that inspection, and still come back to your report here. But see, there were 2 lasts here that were done in 7 minutes worth of time. You have that history here for you guys. But that's in, and again, I'm gonna go back to summary, your inspection details or show all. So this is showing most recent. If I click show all, it's showing only the ones that have been done, but show all is saying, I know a basement didn't happen, I know a plumbing didn't happen, and then this is in list form. And I will have them add the email icon to your portal. On the city side, there's a column right here that has an email icon that lets you email within the system, and I think that would be very beneficial to you guys. To have that. So be looking for that within the next few hours. Do you guys have questions on this, on finding your inspections or requesting? Good? Okay. Do we want to do some Q&A? What did I not cover that you guys have questions on?
Brady, I think SNS had a question earlier that I would have the same question. If we have submitted it and then we changed the subcontractor or changed anything, there's no way to go back in and grab that and edit it, is there?
So it depends upon the stage that it's at. If it's in the submitted, and not into plan review. Is that the stage we're talking? Like
Well, I'm guessing it is, but if it's in plan review, you can't for sure. But if it's in submitted, you can still go in and edit.
No, so submitted, it's not. Submitted is like dropped off, nobody's looked at it yet.
Okay.
Plan review, yes. So on the city side, I'm gonna just not log into St. George's. I'm gonna log into my demo city side. But you still need to contact the city. Basically because they submitted it on the good faith that you were using these people. And when they receive an application, so if I go to my submitted, now I'm as Brenda or like any of the other St. George City employees that are taking in these applications, when I come in and I say, oh, somebody applied for a permit, let me check this. I go through and I check this permit. So I don't want you changing that after my eyes have looked at it and said that, because this is something the city people do. When we continue on this page, we verify that this is an actual licensed person, because we don't want to put it into plan review without verifying this information. If we just let you go change it, that means that we're kind of saying we verified it without like, or you changed it after we looked at it, and we don't want to do that. So at this point, when it is in plan review, so submitted, definitely not, but when it's in plan review, you can go in and make a comment on any one of those checklist items and say, hey, I'm changing my general, I'm changing my electrician. Can you open that back up for me? When they are reviewing it, they can click this one box that says allow you to update the application. And that means, like, even if you don't know who you're using just yet, they know that it's out open to you, and before they're going to finalize plan review, they're going to go check that page one more time and verify all that information. Does that make sense?
Perfect. That's perfect. Thank you.
Okay. Yep. And hopefully, like, and I can make sure that they know that that box is there. I'm not sure why it's overlapping. It's probably the way my screen's viewing. But yeah, if you don't know who it is, some people like accept it and say, well, we're just not sure who our electrical is for the next little bit, but we wanted to get our application in. That box can be checked, but at least both sides know that that's going to be edited before they finalize it, so their eyes can look at it one more time.
So Brady, I think we had this question earlier. I just wanted to make sure this question was answered.
Okay.
Someone actually dropped off the application this morning to the city, as well as the plans in a box. Will they need to resubmit through the city inspect program?
I believe right now they're wanting everybody to do it online. I am not sure. I can ask Brenda and see.
Is Brenda
or John?
Was it a commercial plan or was it a residential plan? Because if it's a residential plan, then they do need to resubmit digitally through the program.
Okay. But if it's commercial, it's okay. They don't need to resubmit.
Yeah, if it's commercial, we're actually in the process right now of setting all that up.
Okay, they did say it's commercial, and so he doesn't need to resubmit it.
No, he's fine if
City
it's
inspect.
It's
okay.
Yeah,
but
the commercial ones we want to get online in the next little bit, but right now they're still doing paper for the commercials, as far as I know.
Okay.
We plan on doing the commercial here fairly quickly, and so I would plan on in the near future submitting commercial digitally also.
Brady, also someone has asked a question about using information that's already in the system to copy for a new one. Can you show us again how you do that?
Yeah, so once you have submitted, so let me log out here and go back into yours. Once you have submitted for an application, so this is on the software side of these things. When somebody applies for a new permit, again, you can do the copy permit details. So I can pick any one of my permits and start from there. So if I know like it's pretty much the same as this plan, I can start from there and not have to worry about like starting everything from scratch. It's going to fill in this. I know I'm going to update this address with the new one, but everything else is going to fill in from what I put in on that application. If you are entering like an electrical contractor for the very first time, you'll need to enter it like from scratch here. But once the city has put their eyes on it and clicked this little verify button, you will only have to just start typing, and then you can pull from the master list. So a lot of our electrical contractors, plumbing, engineers in town, you can just start typing their name and pull from the master list, and it will automatically fill in. We don't want you to have to like repeat over and over and over again. But that's also why we gave you that copy permit details button, so that if it's like you're using the same things over and over and over again, all you just, you need to update the subdivision, lot, address, and maybe 2 sets of plans and res checks and your NOI and maybe a few of the other ones, but at least you don't have to start from scratch. Does that answer that question?
Mm-hmm. I do want to remind everyone that has participated today, if you can include your individual name and your company name in the chat box, if you haven't done that already, so that we know who was on here today, would be great. And then Brady, if they have further questions, what do you recommend? Contacting you, someone else?
I feel like if they have software questions, like everybody is overwhelmed right now with, the cities are overwhelmed right now. If you have a specific software question, you can call me. I can put my phone number in here, my email. If it's a, why do we need a res check question? That's going to be a city question. But if it's software oriented, I'm more than happy to answer those questions. If you guys, like we had a plumbing company contact me because the email that was put on the 4,000 permits they had in St. George City for the last 20 years is different than what they're using now. We run a little script and update it. All 4,000 permits are there within 5 minutes. We're not going to put that task on St. George City. So if it's adding emails to contacts, if it's updating an email that got put in wrong, anything software oriented, please contact me. I'm more than happy to help, especially because this is my hometown. Like, I want to help you guys. So we want to make it work and we want it to be right. If it's a question of, hey guys, why do I need a stormwater permit? That's going to be a St. George City question.
Right. So Brady, if you want to type that in the chat box, that would be
Sure.
great.
Sure.
We're just scrolling through to see any other questions. It looks like, and by the way, I probably should have mentioned this earlier, any one of the participants, you can unmute yourself. You can either scroll over your name and then click on the mic button, or you can hold down the space bar, and you're welcome to ask a question as well.
So someone asked about payment again. So John, right now it's the check brought up and put in the Dropbox, and then Brenda will come up and pick up, check up
and
something.
you can also call us with a credit card payment. There is a 1.95% service charge on credit cards, or you can call us with an e-check, and that only has a $1.50 service charge on it. So 3 options. You can call us and we can take care of it over the phone, and then you can access all of your stuff online, or you can drop it off in the Dropbox if you don't want to do over the phone, and it works that way as well.
Perfect. Thanks, Brenda.
The number to call for an e-check is 435-627-4206.
Okay. That does answer, I think that answers some.
I think Mayor Chris Hart is still on here. We do have a question. Is Ivan City going to start using the program as well?
Ivans has contacted me and they said that they would like to put it in the budget, but that's as far as I know. So, I mean, I would love it. It would be great to have everybody on because it's so easy. Really, some of these builders that are building across the entire state, again, here you can see like I could be a single builder building in Heber, Kaysville, Santa Clara, the county, and access any one of those permits just by clicking the button and switching. So we try to make it convenient for you guys, because going to several different websites and tracking down all of the different processes that everybody's doing, we want to make it streamlined. But as of right now, all they have got from me is a quote and a hope that maybe they can do it come July, but that's as far as I know.
Brady, I'm going to go ahead and unmute everyone to see if there's any other questions.
Or plan to build this.
Okay. Now there's a lot of background noise.
Indoor basketball court, some like this.
If anyone has a question, it would be a good time to answer it right now.
Yeah.
Or ask it.
Brady, did we get your contact info for the technical issues?
Yeah, I put it in the chat. Did you see it?
However,
Nope.
so you have 3 packages, but then in the package,
It should have been in there.
additional choice.
Let's see if
Hold on.
Oh,
I had
gosh,
switched
it's so
it.
hard to wrap my brain around this.
I know.
When I saw these 9, I was like,
make sure you're posting it to everyone.
Yeah, it was to a single person. Hold on one second.
Read things through it.
no, I'm great. Because then we'll see, like, when you go to pay the bill, you're like, oh my
Okay, just one more time if there's any other further questions. Otherwise, we want to thank Brady. This program is amazing. It is going to take a lot of time. There might be some challenges in the beginning, but we greatly appreciate you and all the time and effort. And appreciate City of St. George as well for embracing this program. And I think it's going to be great all around.
Yeah,
So,
well, and you guys,
I
like,
personally, I really like that.
my number one reason for creating this
I like the
program
depth, you know.
was to help. So,
We wish we could get a little bit more.
something that you need help with?
That's where we ended up. You know?
Okay.
Thank you.
You know, 110 apiece.
Yeah.
Guys,
Okay.
Mari, I just sent Brady.
You know,
Yeah,
that's
like,
as
I
much
thought I had
as we could go.
cabinets down, you know? So,
Sorry, I'm going to have
They were a
to
little wider, you know, I think.
mute everyone.
yeah,
There's some people talking in the background.
Okay,
Yeah.
so
Being even at 110,
that's okay.
you
however,
know,
Let's see.
Mari, I just mentioned that maybe Brady should contact Ross Ford. He could help her with getting this information out to all the cities in the state of Utah.
Okay, yeah, that would be great.
Program. I think he would throw his arms around it, and he can be so much help for her getting this out there.
Yeah. Yeah, Brady, I will send you Ross Ford's contact
Okay.
info, and I'll
Okay.
reach out to him as well.
Okay, that'd be
Thanks,
great.
Mari. Thanks, Brady. You guys
Thank
take
you guys. I appreciate you guys so much.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Yep.
Thank
see ya.
you.
Like this
but
Bye, everyone.
I like 107.
Does that make sense? I can see it. Not
I
saying we
don't
have to go
need
with it,
and
but
so that's your
109, unless I had horses,
if you've chosen the build package.
you know.
I don't know if I have a strong opinion yet.
I
It's like
I don't
it's
want
not
it.
about
I'm not a-
but
That's,
like
I don't,
know.
I'd rather have
it
it
out,
happen
or I can
on
think
both
for a second and
sides
get back to you.
up in-
that's the
This
only
one.
thing.
So, like,
The silver can go all
Well,
the way
because they
here.
already have.
Like, I don't want an acre and a half, but I've got a lot of people. that-
Okay,
Yeah.
I'm gonna go
want the
ahead
toy
and
garage,
end the
they
we
want
meeting.
save.
the toy
Part,
court,
you just
I got
have
it.
Is that okay?
Talk to you soon.
you know, big pool,
Thank you.
Bye, Mari.
big
Bye-bye.
garage.